Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. I garden in Zone 8B in southeastern North Carolina. When this year started, I talked a lot about budget gardening or gardening on a budget, ways that we can save money and expand our gardens immensely. I mentioned in this video back in maybe in January, and I will link it below, that talked about like 10 ways that you can save money and still expand your gardens. I have done that this year, and throughout my videos, my garden tours, I often point out when I got plants on clearance or where I found deals or how I DIY'd something. So I just want to pop through my backyard secret garden area and show you how I expanded that whole or created the whole area using at least 3 of the techniques that I described there. And the techniques or ideas that I want to share today or reiterate today are propagating or dividing our own plants, garden sharing with maybe friends or neighbors or anybody that's willing to give you any kind of free plants, or buying things on sale or clearance. That's what I want to discuss today. So not just all the ways that you could do it, but how I did it largely with those 3 money-saving tips. Now, here we are all the way in August. And again, I started this idea of the gardening on a budget back in January. In August, I am able to find some massive deals on some things because the garden centers just want to get rid of them. So I want to show you some of the things that I just got over this past week. This is one of them. This little arrangement right here, this is Diplodenia, and I can never remember the name of this colorful spike, or probably even say it right. What are you? Spike, Dracaena, Dracaena, I don't even know. I don't know what it is. The colorful spike right here. This item was 75% off. There's no problem with it, and I know that I can overwinter this. Now I'm lucky because I have a greenhouse. Well, I'm not sure if that's luck or just design, because that was something I really wanted for myself. But I will be able to overwinter both of these items. And so, and because it's only August, I'm still gonna get to enjoy them in my landscape until it's time to overwinter. And another thing I got at 75% off, and this baby just looks thirsty really, is this hibiscus. This hibiscus is multicolored in its flower blooms, and that to me is awesome. So I'll get to put it out. I have to repot it, so it's got a bigger pot so it can take in some more water. But honestly, 75% off on gorgeous things that I'll get to keep for this year and next. Yes, please. I got this grouping of all of these pots, some that are this size, some that are this size, and then some, well, actually only one that is a bigger one like this. I got these from the Family Dollar. These were all 50% off, and at Family Dollar, you're already spending very little on these pots. Like these in particular, I have 3 of these right here. They are hard, and they look like the glazed ceramic pots. So it was originally $5, so $2.50 for one that is going to be sturdy. And all I want to do is drill some drainage holes at the bottom of it, and that's it. They're ready to go. So 50% off when you can find things like that. This one's very similar. Also a thick pot that looks like the hammered metal. I love the look of it. This one comes with 1 drainage hole at the bottom, so I just need to make some more to make sure that my plants are healthy in them. But I can't beat finding flower pots for 50% off. Let's get back into the secret garden and let me show you all the things that I put together with my gardening on a budget idea. Before we even really step onto the pathway of the secret garden, all of these things were either divisions or given to me, etc. Let me show you how I start off this garden. Right here is the Dragon's Breath Celosia. These were actually volunteer seedlings. I had this plant in my garden one time. It left behind seed remnants that you can just tell were this because they start out looking this magenta color. So I guess technically that would be a propagation, even though I didn't mean to do it. So this is a propagation. This right here is a canna lily with darkly colored foliage that you can kind of barely see behind the celosia. That was a garden share item. Someone gave that to me for free. And these elephant ears, they suffered a little bit from recent wind and a recent storm. But these elephant ears, and I will show you more of them, were also given to me. These were by a neighbor. This was by my mom. Now, people will respond so well to garden sharing. If you have something that maybe you grow in abundance or you don't want in your garden anymore and they can use it, they will then do the same. So definitely talk to people and see if they will garden share with you. This one right here was yet another one. This is a perennial hibiscus that was also from my mom. Yes, my mom is a very good source for me. And so she was able to divide up her perennial hibiscus and give me part of it. And then it has flourished in my poolside gardens. So this whole secret garden idea was kind of a go big or go home idea. I wanted to take a piece of land on my property that was not being utilized at all and just kind of have fun with it. This entire area is going to have all the grass taken up. Canna lily garden is going to stay where it is, but it is mainly on this side where I'll be adding in my brand new flower beds with simply a pathway going down the middle. So I was going to load this area up if I could. First things first, clearance items for my pathways. These rocks right here, I got them all. This is bagged stone that was 50% off because it was the open bag clearance type of situation. So a lot of times you go to the garden centers and you see these bags of rocks spilling all over the place. It's messy for the garden centers and messy for us to take home in our vehicles. They often rebag these items at 50% off. I took advantage of that, and every time I went back to the garden center, I would just keep looking for the same stone that I wanted to compile here for my project, and over time, I found everything that I needed. So that is that stone right there. Then, in keeping with talking about like the walkway area, is my blue wooden boardwalk. Now, I've shown this a million times. I love it. It was one of my most favorite projects. And this is all just pallet wood. It is wood that I cut to a certain size. I stained it using a stain that I had from another project. All of this wood was free, labor intensive, but free. As you look in this area all around me, it is luscious and plentiful. I have large plants. I have seemingly a lot of things in here. Well, I will tell you that almost all of this, and as we go through, I'll point it all out, were divisions from plants already on my property. For example, just starting right here in the front, the Bengal tiger canna lily with the gorgeous variegated foliage and the yellow blooms or the orange blooms on it. I started with 2 Bengal tiger plants last year, 2 only. Over time, they began to grow more out of their rhizome roots, which I just divided up and put into a different pot or separated into a different part of the yard. And little by little, these plants just got huge, and then I could divide those up all over the course of this last year. So that is the Bengal tiger canna lily. My banana trees, same situation. I started with 2 banana trees, 2, and they probably cost maybe $15 each at the time, something like that. They grow so well in my climate that they just keep popping up with new babies, and I kept digging them up and dividing them up. I now have a mini grove of them over here, and I have a huge grove of them in a different area. Same deal, just my own plants divided up, and they're now big and luscious. I already talked about the elephant ears. As we come this way more, you're gonna see a lot of the same things over and over because again, I'm just dividing things up from my own property and planting them here to create this luscious secret garden. Certainly we can see something like this elephant ear, which is huge. So, you know, wouldn't it be lovely if you can garden share with people that can give you a plant that is impactful, like something like this. Now, the friend that I got my elephant ears from, these are jumbo style, so they're meant to get very large. I think she had just bought a couple of very small plants, but they just grow and multiply and all of that prolifically, so it was an easy thing for her to be able to share them. So that's something that I absolutely love. This is a different kind of canna lily. I don't remember the name of it, but it doesn't have the variegated foliage. Same sort of situation though, just another prolific spreader and bloomer. This was my main area where I started with just the 2 Bengal tigers, and you can see how full and plentiful it is right here. I want to show you something else that's hiding right here. So since I was just talking about the elephant ears as a garden share item, this green yucca, which is large and also produces pups that can be divided again and again, this was given to me by somebody. I have other style yuccas in my yard which create pups as well, and I've given those away, but this particular style of plain green yucca I did not have before. So again, that was just a free item given to me. These caladiums, which are gorgeous and stunning, and I have no regrets having them in my garden. They were not given to me, but I did buy them on sale. So again, sale and clearance items, that is one of the main ways that this entire garden came together. I have to say that buying items on sale or clearance is not for the faint of heart. Sometimes you just want to get the job done. Put your whole garden together and see results quite quickly. If you're buying things on sale, that's not the way it's going to work. You're waiting for things to go on sale. Like I said, with the bagged stone going on clearance or whatever, I had to check with the garden center every single time I went to see if they had more bags for me. So if you're ready to jump on a project, this is not the ideal situation for you trying to do it on a budget. But if over time you can gather these items that again are given or are on sale, or you're dividing up because your stuff has gotten so dang big on your own property, then this is a fabulous way to do it. Another point I want to make when you're trying to save money and yet grow your landscape is you can't be picky. You kind of have to take what you can get. If people are willing to give you free items or sale items or whatever, you can't be picky. So yes, you may see a lot of the same things over and over as I show you my secret garden, but I'm fine with it because this area literally did not exist before April of this year. So in a handful of months, I've made an amazing space that I absolutely adore, my favorite project of this entire year. I'm fine with the fact that you can see even more of the Bengal tiger canna lilies in a grouping behind me, or more of the bagged clearance stone in front of me, because that is what it's all about, finding the best deal and making it work for you. Now these caladiums, same deal. They were part of just a regular nursery sale. The caladiums went on sale. I saw that in the flyer. Boom, I went and snatched up 6 plants. That's how that happened. The lemon coral sedum here in the front, I have some poofs of it here. I have it in a bunch of places in my yard because it grows very easily. This sedum is the type of thing that if a piece breaks off, it can reroot in the ground quite easily, and then it grows and grows and grows. So the very funny thing about this particularly is I bought a plant that had a little tiny piece of the lemon coral sedum in it, and I thought, all right, I'll just stick it in some soil and see what happens. From that one little piece that I didn't even purchase, it just came kind of almost like a weed stuck in a little pot. I have now so much lemon coral sedum because it grew quickly and easily. And I love it. It gives me a nice pop of lime green color. And hello, my snake plant, same sort of deal. Now I didn't even have experience with the snake plant originally when I bought my very first parent plant. I think I paid $40 for a plant that was probably triple the size of this one that you see right here. But oh my gosh, that $40 keeps giving and giving and giving and giving, because the snake plant also keeps dividing or keeps popping up with new pieces, and I am dividing that up. So I have it in the ground in some spots. I have it in a million pots. I still have some hiding in my bathtub. I have a garden tub where I've propagated plants, and I meant to like get them all gone, give them away and everything, but I kind of ran out of people to give things to temporarily, and so they're still sitting there waiting. So anyway, snake plants, hugely easy to propagate and divide and definitely give away. So just beside the caladium that I was just talking about, I have blanket flowers over here. If you've heard me talk about blanket flowers once, you've heard it a million times. And here we go again. Blanket flowers, for me, prolific spreaders. They get the seed pods on them that just kind of blow off in the wind and land everywhere, reseed and sprout up a new plant. So anytime I have a little empty space in my garden, I know that I can fill it with a blanket flower, and I did that here. This right here is a Rose of Sharon given to me by my cousin, and simply because she had extra. That's what happens with things like Rose of Sharon that drops their seeds into the ground and they sprout up with new plants. Sometimes you need to clear those plants out for the health of the plant. That's what was done here, and I benefited. When I look at my secret garden as a whole, there are more things in here that I got for free or divided up myself than anything else. I have things in here like daylilies. They just simply came from other parts of the yard. So definitely do not underestimate your own growing power and being able to create other beautiful areas just by utilizing things that you already have. I know sometimes it's difficult to rely on the kindness of others to help you get your garden going, and we don't always know people that we can garden share with. But looking on things even like Facebook Marketplace or something like that, where people are saying, hey, I'm done with this tree or these rocks or this garden statuary or something. Do you want to come and take it? I'll put it on the curb for free. That stuff is also available. So kind of the possibilities are endless if we just start looking around. So again, even though largely my tips here are going to be about the sale and the clearance and the garden share and propagating, other tips include overwintering things so you get to enjoy them year after year, for example, like this Diplodenia. I can overwinter Diplodenia. You can too. Right inside your house. You don't need a greenhouse to be able to do it. I also DIY things like garden decor that I have. I make things, I paint things, whatever is possible. I look around for things that can be added into my garden to make my garden feel full and have lots of different things to look at. So considering the fact that this small space had absolutely no plantings in it and didn't exist as a garden at all, like I said before, a handful of months ago, if I can do it, you can do it too. Just look around and you'll see there are a million opportunities and possibilities to add to your garden. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any specific questions about something that I've done, please ask, because I'm happy to share. And until next time, happy planting.